Right, this is from American on Brussels subway explosion. Everyone dropped to the floor. Okay. Now then, this is not how to present a hoax. That is, you don't have a commentary and have running footage with it. Okay, in this particular instance. We'll see as we go along what I mean.
Lives in the Washington, D.C. area, and he was on a subway near the station when the bomb went off this morning. Brian?
Just hang on a second. On a subway, you're reading from a prompter. On a subway.
When the bomb went off this morning. Brian Carroll, thank you so much. The area, and he was on a subway near the station.
He was on a subway near the station. But the station is a subway.
When the bomb went off this morning. Brian Carroll, thank you so much for joining us. What did you see? What did you hear? And did you have any idea that you were in danger?
Yeah, no, actually, I live in Brussels. I was I normally don't take the metro, and I had a conference down. On my way to the metro, I saw on my smartphone that there had been some attacks at the airport, and actually had a moment of hesitation to even get on the metro this morning.
Hang on, you've just got, within seconds of the bomb going off, you've been told that a bomb has gone off at the metro, so you hesitate. Well, a normal person would just go, oh, sod this, bugger this. I'm going late for a meeting. If I don't get there, let's see. I'll get a bus or a taxi. Not this one.
I'd been attacked at the airport, and actually had a moment of hesitation to even get on the metro this morning, thinking perhaps public transportation wasn't the best idea. But I got on, and...
Oh, so you went to the metro and got on the train? And because you've heard this explosion on the metro? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course you do.
Literally minutes after I stepped on the train, it was attacked.
Really?
We were pulling into the Malbec station. There was a massive explosion. You could feel it through the metro train. The lights went out. The power went out.
The lights went out, the power went out. This is what I mean by putting the wrong picking footage up. Eh? The power went out, the lights went out. Well, the lights went out because the power went out. Yeah, look at the lights on there.
Everyone dropped to the floor.
Did they?
People were crying and screaming, and others were yelling for everyone to calm down. And I also went straight to the floor, and we were waiting there for a little bit, and there were multiple explosions. You could hear them, you could feel them. And then eventually some of the passengers went to try and open the door, which was, locked because the power had gone out. They weren't...
Oh, right. So they couldn't get out because the power had gone out. Okay. Oh, right. So we've seen the power is on, but it's not onto the rail track. It's in the carriage though. Okay.
Locked because the power had gone out. They weren't automatically opening. I was right next to the door, and me and some other passengers, we physically pried open the door.
Oh, it's always the same in it with these hoaxes. I'm the one that prized open the door. Yeah. Oh, where's the picking doors? Multiple explosions, taking off picking doors, taking out of windows. Nice to see all the belongings of people, isn't it? Strewn all over the place. Where? Exactly. Hey? So the hero of the moment, rule number 1, prizes open the doors because the power's gone off. But we've seen the power is on. And also that they shouldn't have get the picking footage of that, neither the footage of this having the picking doors open.
I was right next to the door, and me and some other passengers, we physically pried open the door, and I didn't know it was...
Oh, like how nobody's concerned. Really?
Happening. I didn't know if the attack was happening on the train itself, or if it was happening...
You didn't know it was happening on the train itself? Oh, you're on the pigging train, you said... Oh, what? Right. So your train gets blown up and you don't know if it's on the train. You're looking down through a lit train to other compartments. You said that you felt the blast damage. Go on.
Massive explosion. You could feel it through the metro train.
See?
The light,
Back one.
it was attacked. We were pulling into the Malbec station. There was a massive explosion. You could feel it through the metro train. The lights went out. The power went out. Everyone dropped to the floor. People were crying and screaming, and others were yelling for everyone to calm down. And I also went straight for the floor, and we were waiting there for a little bit, and there were multiple explosions. You could hear them. You could feel them. And then eventually some of the passengers went to try and open the door, which was, locked because the power had gone out. They weren't automatically opening. And I was right next to the door, and me and some other passengers, we physically pried open the door. And I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if the attack was happening on the train itself or if it was happening at the station.
But you were saying before, as we said, the blasts were coming through the pigging train, so how can it be on the station? And you would have known because you would have seen it on the station. Very con artists.
It sounded like explosions. I didn't know if it was...
It sounded like explosions. Now you're changing the frigging story. It was explosions before. You could feel the blast coming through the carriages. So it's on the carriages, it's on the pigging train, it's coming through, it was an explosion, and now you don't know where the explosion took place, and the bangs are indefinite now.
Perhaps there were gunmen as well, and I kind of also had a moment of, do I stay on the train and wait and hope it goes away, or do I make a run for it, not knowing what's on the other side of the platform? And I decided to go make a run for it. I took kind of stayed to the side and ran out.
Tell me something, these are live pigging rails. Nobody is going to go down here with live rails. And a cameraman. They've turned the rails off, but kept the lights on, haven't they? So that people can walk down with no health and safety issues.
The exit, it was clear there was debris everywhere, there was smoke everywhere, glass. As I was exiting the metro, people on the streets were looking into the metro, wondering what was happening. It happened very quickly, and then, but it was clear as soon as it happened, it was a terrorist attack.
Brian, I just want to be clear here, because you said as you were arriving in the train station, you heard an explosion. Not sure whether it was
Correct.
on or just off the train.
Oh no, he's arrived into the train station, didn't know if it was on the train station or in the... How many more times are they going to twist this story?
But then, how long after that you heard additional explosions?
The train had stopped, and I heard additional explosions as I was on the ground in the train.
I love this, don't you? How it is that the camera's there, in the right position, as it is here, in the right position, within minutes. Oh yeah, all the camera crews from the media are down here, set up in the right positions to get the right footage, within pigging minutes.
After that you heard additional explosions?
The train had stopped, and I heard additional explosions as I was on the ground in the train.
Yeah, the pictures that we're seeing, Brian, are very frightening, and what you're describing
Really?
is also terrifying to me. It's interesting that you said you had a moment of hesitation when you heard about the explosion at the airport. What made you hesitate?
Well, we've known, I've been living in Brussels now 2.5 years, and over the past couple of months, we know that there's a terror attack, terror threat to Brussels. Obviously, what happened in Paris was just months ago, and that touched us very closely here.
So he went from the airport to the metro station to catch a metro, even though he knew that the metro was being attacked by bombers. That's the first thing you do, isn't it, eh? Hey, love, it's alright. They're just bombing the big metro. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but the trains are not going to work. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, dear. Should we find another means of transport? Because, you know, with all the lines up, all this track up, and the carriages, and probably on our section as well. Shall we risk it? All the blood and the carnage and all the wreckage, and we get down there and our train is not just delayed but blown up. So I think we'd better not go down to the metro then. Let's take a taxi from the airport to the conference. Okay, but does he? No, he doesn't.
The Belgian government has been conducting raids, and you know, obviously a lot of the terrorists were identified were homegrown in Belgium, which is disturbing. So, you know, I knew this was going. You know, we've had the threat of this happening for a long time. But you know, I heard about that there were some attacks. There was a bomb at the airport, and you know, as I was going to the metro, I kind of thought, you know, maybe public transportation isn't the best way. But
now there's a bomb at the airport. What a spin.
there's the chances of anything happening, and this is by far the most practical way to get to where I'm going. You know, I always think, you know, when I get into the airport, when I travel, you know, I don't want to win by keeping us afraid. You know, we need to live our daily lives. I never expected to be in the middle of an attack. It's horrible. I think I still haven't really processed everything that's happened to me.
Yeah. Terrible. And
Sure.
Brian, we're okay this morning, Brian. Carol, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you. Oh, terrifying. Terrifying it was. Check us in the post. Thank you very much. Check us in the post. Go! Hey, what about the next one? Well, seeing that you've not put your face on camera, nobody will know your face, so yes, you can come along again and you can pose as somebody else then. Okay, it's extra, by the way, payment if you come onto camera, alright? But the only problem is that you're not allowed to tell anybody, okay? As now, but more so then, okay? That this is all a hoax, because this is a very large world, and you can disappear in this very large world, understand me? Okay, and if you want the money from other events, then consider that. This, by the way, is that airport that had all the sound effects put into it, the plastic dolly that people were trying to, that those couple rescued, that plastic piggy and dolly. The cameras were all on site. There was a fog this here, a mist, not smoke, but mist from a mist machine used. I think we may come back to that actually. Let's go.